collaborative decision-making conference that we have today is a talk about talks, or a meeting about meetings, and a conference about conferences. And I know that sounds just a little bit facetious, but this is all about talking to each other, about sharing information, and about coming up with the best potential solutions. Whether we do this in the right here and now in the operational tactical domain, or whether we do that in the pre-strategic and even in a 5-year strategic domain when we start talking to each other about building the permission for ATNS for the next 5 years to come.
Collaborative decision-making allows all members of the air traffic management community to participate meaningfully in air traffic management decisions. It ensures that there is coordinated and coherent long-term planning as well as operational activities are more coherent and well coordinated. It requires, for this to succeed, that information management is shared efficiently and widely amongst all participants so that they are aware of what needs to be done and when it has to be done, and the information that is communicated is relevant for all participating parties.
First of all, no need to regulate if there is no problem. So first, detect the right problem with accurate data and then apply the regulation if needed. If we impact a flight, it needs to be fair, and we cannot penalize a flight twice. In the early stage, when you wait for on the ground, then in the air, and then in the approach. It will be too much. So we need to share the overall constraints all together to have an efficient and a balanced regulation of the flight when it is needed.
Africa is a big continent as it stands, meaning we need to start seriously sitting today and discuss, come up with ways and plans on how we can all have and really gun for that one vision of Africa as a continent. And that, once again, will only be achieved through the CDM or CDM processes. Not only, I think, that tool can enhance CDM, but I think the overall planning of entirely the traffic activities through our continent will be, call it a well-improved plan.
Looking at devices, now devices is basically our equipment. That's what we see, devices is our equipment. Air traffic controllers work with state-of-the-art equipment that need to be upgraded and replaced and to keep ahead of the demand. Surveillance systems were introduced and air traffic controllers had to adapt to that. We used to work with procedural separation, and then when the surveillance systems got introduced, radar, it was a complete different ballgame for us. Things changed. And even as the surveillance systems became better and better, the separation standards decreased from 10 miles to 5 miles, and even in approach now they use 3 miles. So it's constantly that we have to adapt to different devices and equipment that we use.
The global air traffic management industry is in transition from strictly government-controlled transport sector to a much more competitive, liberalized, and operating environment. Recently, as Kenzo, we had a regional conference in Ghana, and our focus was exactly on that. because most of air navigation service providers, they are still part of CAAs. So what we are trying to make sure is that air navigation providers should be separated at least from CAAs, even if they are combined with airports, but at least they should be separated from CAAs. So for many years, the industry has been under pressure to adapt to new institutional arrangements and increased safety, operational, technical, environmental, and economic requirements.
CDM is central, CDM is the key, CDM is the way to go, and we can also share information, regional collaboration as the centers, facilitate the technology, the information, what we are purchasing collectively, and the critical workforce. And it's unfortunate that in the med services, because I think we train a lot and we know a lot, we happen to be having a lot of exodus. But we are saying if we work together within SADC, we'll be able to manage the workforce that we have to ensure that we are able to deliver on what is expected. On that note, I want to ask you, why can't we proceed and move forward on collaboration? Particularly for us in the Met, we are on board and we invite you.
We need this CDM in the coordination of emergency response plans. We need the CDM in the safety risk assessment and mitigation. When you look at the composition of the safety action group, the composition of the safety review committee, it is supposed to have all players in the organization, from all departments, from human resource, from finance, from everywhere. But it is possible to find a safety action group in an organization where it only comprises of the ANS staff or only the airport staff. The proper way of setting up those committees as per the guidance, they should be all-inclusive, where we can have the best out of that.
The benefits for the air traffic service units will include a flexible pre-departure planning, reduced apron and taxiway congestion, smooth flow of traffic, improved en route capacity, and cleaner environment. Everything adds up to benefit all the concerned stakeholders. The airlines will save on fuel. Air traffic control will have enhanced capacity to handle traffic, and the environment will obviously have reduced pollution and carbon emissions.
Thank you very much. In no particular order, David, Atmore, Lionel, thank you very much. Silas, as usual, thank you very much. Until next time.